Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to TekTopia, where today's episode probably sounds a little bit different to most of you, for two reasons actually. So I've just got back from a little weekend trip, and as I usually do whenever I go away anywhere, I got ill. I seem to be making a habit of that. But yeah, I've just had a bit of a croaky throat and you'll probably hear a few sniffles from time to time in today's episode, so my apologies about that. I've been resting my voice over the past couple days, just trying to get it to sound somewhat recordable. It was really bad at first. It sounded like there was a literal frog trying to speak for me. But so yeah, today it sounds a lot better. Still not perfect, but hopefully you guys can put up with it for today's episode at least. But the main reason why it sounds different to a lot of you is because I have a new microphone. Now, those of you who watch my Valhelsia series will already be aware of all this because I've been trialing out over there, getting some feedback on how it sounds, and the general consensus is that you guys like it, think it sounds good. So this is how the episodes are going to sound from now on. I know it's a lot different to the old ones, but that's purely because my old mic was really bad. It was just a little microphone attached to a headset that I have had for a very long time. This one is actually a professional microphone. It's the ST800 from TangoTek, and yeah, it sounds good. Different, but good. Just give it a little bit of time and I'm sure we'll get used to it. Those of you listening with headphones probably notice a bit more of a change. That's how headphones work. But yeah, it's a bassy microphone and my voice is extra bassy today, so it's probably not a good time to make that change, but that's just how things have lined up today, unfortunately. Although I haven't been recording the past couple of days, I have actually been playing in this world, doing some work, and actually started and finished quite a large project I've been looking to do for quite some time. So I finally built the creeper farm so we can get a nice supply of gunpowder to have lots of rockets, because I'm continuously running out of these. But I found a fairly large area underground which didn't have too many caves around, so it was easy to dig out this somewhat of a large hole underneath the village, and I obviously lit up all the caves surrounding nearby, at least most of them. I didn't really spend too long doing it. I don't need crazy amounts of gunpowder. And then I had to do a bunch of resource gathering, which included chopping down a lot of trees because this farm needs a lot of trapdoors to work. So yeah, many trees were born and killed during the making of this. Poor trees. And then I had to actually build the thing, and this is a farm design which a lot of you may have already seen from Logical Geek Boy. It's like the most popular creeper farm design, so I'll leave a link to that in the description, bearing in mind I remember. And yeah, then I had to tame two cats, or tame two ocelots in the jungle and bring them over, so yeah, I could get some more kitties to go underneath because they are a main factor for how this farm works. And the two parents that have given birth to all of their cats, which are now underground in a very small confined area, scaring creepers for the rest of their life. Yeah, this is the parents right here, and I don't really know what to do with them. I think I might just like sit them up against a chair here, but I really haven't been bothered to push them, to be honest. Okay, this could be an issue. I just put them in place, and one has been pushed outside and the other has been pushed up onto this stair from the nomads. Thanks guys. Well, nonetheless, they should make for pretty good companions for our tradesman and architect here. But yeah, I forgot to show you what I actually did with the creeper farm. Suppose I should show you it in its finished form. So I made a little fountain here. It's okay, it looks a little weird. Well, so many hearts. I just wanted to put some water in, but I'm not too happy with how the flow is, but hey, it's okay. And then if we drop down here, we should go to our storage room where all of the gun... And it works. Okay, that answers my question. Oh, that's loud. I'm sorry. Is there a way I can... Let me just climb up the ladder a bit here while I talk, because that's a loud noise. Oh, it doesn't get any quieter the louder I go up. Okay, I'll just have to be quick. So I broke the torches about 10 minutes ago, right, maybe. So all the creepers have been spawning for 10 minutes, and we have nearly a stack of gunpowder. That is pretty good going. Alright, let's actually get on with some TekTopia related things instead of boring vanilla farms. Who likes that, right? That's not why you're here to watch this series. We're here to make a village, and our villagers are in here leveling up their intelligence at the moment. I was actually having some problems with my lumberjacks earlier on. They just decided to stop cutting trees for a day, but I think they're back to it now. I'm not sure. I've been underground for so long, I'll have to keep an eye on them. But yeah, I've been obviously doing a lot of stuff while they've been harvesting resources, so you can see I've got a lot of wood and crops. I don't know which chest they're in. Yeah, got a lot of stuff, so when I do need to actually sell some stuff to the merchant to get some emeralds, we should have some items to do that, which is awesome. So I have a big list of things that I want to get done today. Not too sure if we're gonna finish them all. It depends on how long it takes and also how long my voice actually lasts, because I can feel it sort of slowly dropping off as the more I talk and the more clips I mess up and have to redo. It just yeah, adds to the croakiness, I suppose. But I think the first thing I want to do is add some sugarcane around here, because at some point or another we're gonna need some paper for the villagers, and it's also another item we can sell to the merchant. So what I'm actually thinking I might do is maybe on each of these 4 quarter circles going around the storage room here, we just put somewhat of a line of sugarcane. Not sure how it's going to work, but I'm going to give it a go and see what it looks like. Huh. I really can't tell if I like this or not. I think I do, but it just doesn't really look that good. It just looks alright, you know. So I think we'll leave it for now. I'm not even 100% certain they're going to be able to harvest this stuff around here. I mean, you can fit easily, but I don't know whether they're smart enough to see that you can walk across like this little bit right here. So maybe I'll end up having to put some lily pads or slabs along top of the water here so they can climb over. I don't know. I like having the water on show, so I'm just going to leave it for a little while and see if it grows on me and if they actually use it or not. Ah, look at these two, perched up on their little sandstone block away from the nomads and merchants so they can't be pushed around anymore. Any name suggestions you guys got for these two, then let me know by putting them in the comments. And yeah, I'll pop a name tag on them at some point or another. But I figured what we do now with the episode is actually lay out a little bit of our pathway design. So I'm only going to do it within like this fenced off area here. So this big circle and the 4 pathways jutting off in each direction. I can't do it for these big open bits yet because I don't know where all of the buildings are going to go. But I can put it in this centralized location because it's not really going to change. So my thought was that, you know, when the pathway would first be put in, they would have done, you know, just a straight line of birch. Let's say it's one of the block pallets, blocks we're using for this village, and it would just be a straight line of birch. But that doesn't really look very good, at least I don't think so. Now, obviously they're going to be walking on this pathway quite a lot, and it's not going to stay perfectly clean birch. There is sand everywhere, so my thought was we can just sort of put in a few birch planks from time to time, because, you know, sand is going to get brushed onto the pathway. They can't keep it perfectly clear, and in fact pretty much all of the wood would have got covered up by this sand that's blowing everywhere. And then maybe on a few spots here and there we can have a sandstone block that makes it look a bit more like compacted where it's been stepped on so many times. I don't know, it's a very basic and almost invisible pathway design. The birch stands out quite a lot, but this is pretty much, you know, you can't really see this unless you look directly at it. But yeah, nothing special at all, but I think it works quite well. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Obviously it's going to be fairly easy to change. It's going to take only a couple of minutes to do. Alishka here seems to be having a little bit of a problem. She's just deciding to not move. She was stuck in the sugarcane here. You've just seen in that time lapse she did not budge a single inch. I don't particularly know how to get her to move again. I guess I can break her bed or something. I haven't relogged yet. I need to do that so I can actually make the replay you've just seen. It's getting a bit confusing, so hopefully that works. Well, I've just logged in. Oh, there she goes. Oh, okay, that's all it took. I was really worried I was going to have to, like, just let her stand there and starve to death. But, nope, she's on the move again. Alright, guys, we are going to have some fun now. It's not only rockets I needed the gunpowder for, I actually want to make some TNT. I probably won't use it that often, so it's really just this one-time use thing. But, yeah, I want some TNT for a certain thing that I would assume is in the thumbnail. I'll be surprised if it's not, but... Oh, that's nice, actually. That's probably maybe 45 minutes worth of gunpowder. It's probably too efficient for what I actually need, but there we go. I can't really complain that it's working fast. So I'm just going to make a stack of the stuff here. That is probably going to be very overkill. I think what I'm going to have to do is just some like controlled blasts in a creative world just to test how I'm going to get this to looking Basically, I want to make a big hole with TNT, but I don't want it to, you know, blow everything up. Really? More problems with frozen villagers? Oh, okay, no, I just had to mention it and you decided to change your mind. And yeah, what are you doing? Come on. This is what the lumberjacks were doing earlier. They were just standing around doing nothing. There we go. Yeah, get back to work. I don't know what that's all about. They keep doing it. If you guys know what's going on, please let me know. I don't want my villagers just standing still all day and end up breaking entirely. That would not be good. Okay, I have been doing some testing in my creative world, and I think I've figured out the best way to do this. I am no TNT expert, so I don't really have a clue what I'm doing, but it shouldn't blow the entire village up, and it should make a substantial hole, so we should be good here. I've marked out where I want the center of this, spoiler alert, if it's not already spoiled in the thumbnail, as I said, quarry, so we are going to dig down to, I think, y equals 40. Oh yeah, that's going to cause a bit of a problem. It's not too low down, it should be fine. So we're going to go all the way down to y equals 40 and I think start laying the TNT from there. That's not actually that deep, is it? Maybe we'll go down to y equals, let's just go down to 30 and then that should be deep enough. If it's too deep, I can always cover a little bit of it up. Okay, that should be good. Now what we're going to do is put one T in, well, let's just dig out the little area first, hang on. We're going to put one there, one here, and one here, and then one in the middle. Then we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, and then basically do the same until we reach the surface, and we will ignite it once I'm all the way up. And obviously when we reach the sandstone levels, I will start doing a lot less TNT because it's more of an explosive block. It's not quite as strong as stone. Well, I guess I'm ready to do this. I've made a backup just in case this somehow goes horribly wrong, but I don't see how it possibly could. I have flame on my bow, so I guess let's just see what happens. Oh, I'm scared. I should probably run away a little bit. Here we go. This is... Oh, wait, what? It was meant to cause a chain reaction. Okay, I might have to stand on the edge here and sort of help it out as it goes along. How's this one gonna do? Any better? Yep. No, okay, this is meant to be a lot more epic than what it's turning out to be. This worked in the creative world, I promise, I'm not lying. There we go, okay, yep, now we're... Nope, still nothing. Okay, I just have to shoot as we go. So far, not so good. I kind of wish it was a little bigger around here. Really? Every time? Okay, I guess this is just not working today. I don't know. As I said, no TNT expert. Don't know what I'm doing. Are those arrows going to get, like, flung up and hit me in the face? Are we good? See, that didn't even break the sandstone block right below it. That now means I have to go down there, break the sandstone, and now... Oh, this is so not big enough, is it? I might have to do a little bit of shaping. Oh, well, it's not the end of the world. Hopefully there's no mobs around. Yeah, how did you not break through that sandstone? I haven't really got anywhere to hide this. Oh, wait. Let's just see what happens. I'm just going to dig a little bit in here to hide as best as I can. Okay, I survived. Thank you very much. Oh, again, really? I'm sorry, guys. This is the most disappointing lot of TNT I've ever blown up in my entire life. I thought it would go a lot better than this. There we go. It finally caused a chain reaction. About time. And we are down at the bottom. This is by no means a big enough hole. I definitely need it wider. So honestly, what I might do is just sort of place a TNT and light it up. Sort of like, maybe I'll just place one, I don't know. Just where it needs expanding a little bit, I'll place one, shoot it, and yeah. Pretty much make this a little bit wider, because this is nothing like how it looked in the creative world. I don't quite know what happened here. I have added a little fence around the outside just in case my villagers were feeling stupid one day and decided to take a closer look into the hole and fall into what is virtually just a giant pit and die. That wouldn't be the best, so yeah, that shouldn't be a problem with this fence around. I don't see how they could possibly jump over it, but yeah, as you can see, I've done a little more explodification. Probably exploded a little too much in some spaces. I've just seen I don't like how that sand block is. I know I shouldn't be so picky about certain parts when what I've just done looks like this. But you know, I wanted that sand block out of the way. So yeah, it looks a little better. Still probably could do with being a little bigger. Honestly, I put my TNT away. I could do with blowing this little corner up a little bit maybe. But yeah, it's a decent size hole. So now what we need to do is actually just build the rest of everything that I've got planned, which yeah, I guess let's just do that. I'm not sure I actually explained what my plan was for all of this, but pretty much this is our mine shaft, and instead of doing a simple little entrance on the surface where the miners will go down to the mines, we're going to do something a little more special, hence why we've got this whole quarry deal going on. And we've got our quarry, our big hole in the ground. We need a crane to get those resources out, and turns out building a crane out of acacia wood and sandstone, our block pallet, is fairly difficult. It looks like it can add some use some more detail. You guys will see once it's all done. It's a little boring looking, and maybe not boring, but it's a little bland and looks like it could use a couple things here and there, but anything I added didn't particularly look very good. So yeah, it's what we've got. I think it's okay. You guys can see once it's done and let me know what you think. But I also wanted to make it look somewhat functionable, and I say functionable in quotation marks because I don't actually think it would work, but I'll wait until we're in first person mode so I can kind of point at individual bits of the crane and show you how I am pretending that they work, even though they probably wouldn't. And yeah, we just added a little platform with some resources being brought up from the mine shafts below. As far as getting the miners down to the mine shafts, my original plan was to add a spiral staircase within the quarry going all the way down to the bottom. Eventually I decided against that because I couldn't build anything I was really happy with, plus the villagers like to push and shove a little bit, so I imagine eventually one of them would push another one off the staircase and into the bottom of the pit and they would die. So yeah, I don't really want that, so we're not going to go with that, and instead I'm just doing a small little building beside the quarry here, which is what I'm imagining to be an elevator shaft. So say they would walk into this building, shout down to another miner at the bottom, you know, telling them to pulley rope me down or up or whatever, or maybe they would have a button if they're a little more high tech, I don't know. And then they would, you know, go down on the elevator to wherever the bottom of the quarry happens to be at that moment in time. In reality, it's just going to be a staircase that leads to a mine shaft, which probably isn't even near the quarry, but hey, I just want to make this look a little more interesting than what it actually is. Okay, let me try and explain how I'm imagining this crane works. So I guess to begin with, we should talk about this big rope here. It's not a fence. Definitely not a fence, it's a rope, and it goes through the acacia logs here, down and sideways, and these big circles here are what is coiled around. So this rope would be going through the logs and then coils around here, so it can be uncoiled if it wants to be lowered and coiled up if it wants to, you know, bring the ores up. And to do that, you would come to this lever here, flick it. So right now I would imagine the ores are being lowered, and I would flick it back up and they would be coming back up, and oh, would you look at that, nothing happened. I don't really know. That's my theory for how this would work. I'm not quite sure what this is. I just felt like it needed some sort of support. This is maybe like a weight in the middle to keep it stable, and obviously we've got a big bulky thing at the bottom here to keep it level and not toppling over. So yeah, there's my crane design. Would that work in a real life situation? Probably not, but there we go. This is Minecraft, it's not real life, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, let me oh, I hear skeletons. Hopefully they're not down here. I had a creeper blow up on me while I was building this, but this is where the miners will actually go towards the mine shaft. Now, obviously, it's not an elevator shaft, unfortunately. I could probably do some trickery with a redstone elevator and get them to like fall down into a trap, but it's so much effort and it's not worth it, so I'm just not doing that. And then we've got the same mine shaft design as what I did in my previous village, which I don't really like as much with these block pallets, with these blocks I'm using, sorry, but it's alright. I'm not going to come down here really at all. But yeah, the miners, I'm sure they won't mind it. And we've got 16 mine shafts ready to go for whenever we get to them at some point in the future. I will probably only do like 1 or 2 for now. But yeah, cool stuff. Believe it or not, this is actually not 2 sandstone I'm currently holding in my hand. It is in fact wool, lime wool to be specific. So the other episode I had a comment from Bokti1 who suggested a very very smart idea of a way to basically fix the ugly roof that we currently have on a couple of these buildings because of how the blue terracotta is, and they suggested that I change the carpet texture of one wall block that I'm not going to use that often. So I picked lime wool. I don't think I've ever used lime wool in my entire time of playing Minecraft. I probably have, to be honest, but yeah, so all I need to do is change the texture of lime wool, and because how the carpet texture is configured, there is, you know, you don't make your own carpet, you have to do the whole wall block, and as you can see, we now have some sandstone slabs of the tiny variety, meaning I can cover this ugly roof up. Well, I probably can, I need more, I think. Yep, need more, but as you can see, just from looking at that, it looks so much better than this awkward blueness slash sandstone. So yeah, thank you so much for that idea. It looks amazing. So to do that, I had to make myself a custom texture pack. You can't just change the texture pack I was currently using because wool was not an option in it, so I had to go the long way around basically. And a while ago, quite a few months actually, I tried to add my own paintings into Minecraft, and I made them all and everything in Photoshop, but I could not add them to the texture pack. I couldn't figure out how. Obviously it's a lot easier when you make your own, but I didn't know how to do that at the time. So basically I added in my own paintings as well, as you can see here. So I'm just going to quickly go through all of these in case you're interested. I think they look really cool. So only 2 of these are ones that I've made myself, the 2 looking bad ones up here. I just, yeah, did them by myself. I think they look good from my level, but the rest are basically sized down images of different things. So we've just got a nice train here. This used to be my old desktop background. I've got a different one now. Nice little wooded area, a castle, Great Wave off Canagua, and Starry Night, my 2 favorite paintings of all time. I absolutely adore these. Moraine Lake, my favorite destination in the world. A little rainbow. This is just a log cabin with a tree. The Northern Lights, Aurora Borealis. This is, I forget the name, somewhere in, oh no, my mind's gone blank. I'll flash it up on the screen because I forgot. This is somewhere in Yellowstone, one of the geysers. This is me and Mechlin as the 2 high ones, and a little pyramid. I think that's just some sort of landscape, a Sahara type desert landscape, a sunset, and another one of that I can't really tell the difference between. And then all the little ones here, this is just a mountain, cactus, pumpkin pie, and cake. This is actual Minecraft textures. And I think this is a leaf. I don't know. I was really struggling with the little ones, and I just kind of lobbed this one in as well. So yeah, these are now going to be in the world. Not that I use paintings that often, but figured I'd just do it anyway since I had the option to, and I spent so much time making these all that time ago. It seemed like a waste not to add them in. Back in our world now, and I actually need to do some waiting around until morning for the merchant to show up because I need to do some trading. As we've just built that mineshaft, I would actually like to hire a miner, and obviously I got to buy the mineshafts. I'd kind of like to get a druid as well, but I'm not sure if that's going to be an option as we've only got 1 spare bed left. And yeah, emeralds are in short supply at the moment. It's really difficult to get started, and I'm not sure if I misplaced them or I spent all my emeralds, but I cannot find them anywhere. So I'm gonna hope I can scrounge together like a decent amount of emeralds from all this stuff that we have from the villagers. This is obviously over a long period of time, so hopefully it should be enough for today's episode. Otherwise I need to do a lot of waiting around, but I need to do some waiting around now for morning to come so I can trade with the merchant, as I just said. Aha, here he is. I knew I'd find you somewhere. It is a shame they spawn all the way in those corners back there, and they have to do a whole long walk around just to get in the village, but I'm sure they don't mind. A good stretch of the legs will do them good. So I have what I think is going to be 52 emeralds worth in my inventory, if I've added that up correctly. And yeah, each of them is going to give me 4 emeralds, so I guess I'm just going to cash all of this in and get myself some money. Very nice. That should be enough for most of what I want to do. Perhaps not all of it, but yeah, that's a good starting point at least. We can now take these emeralds to the town hall and trade them with the architect and tradesman. So I think what I would like to get is at least one miner. I'm just going to stick with the one for now. So that's 4 emeralds. Okay, and then we're going to go over to our architect here and get ourselves 2 mine shafts, I think. They're very, very cheap, so there's no harm in really doing that. And I think instead of building a whole nother home, we are actually going to buy a 6-person one, because we have this downstairs. Oh, let's just drop them on the floor. Maybe that's how I lost the last lot. We have this downstairs bit, which I guess we can actually put in right now. That's already built, ready to go. So it's an expensive token and probably doesn't leave me with enough to do what I want to do with. That's a weird sentence. It might not leave me enough for the rest of the episode, but yeah, we now have 6 plus the one upstairs, beds free for new villagers. So I wanted to just add one more building to our quarry area over here, which is actually the smithy. As the ores come from the mines and end up with the blacksmith at the smithy, I felt like that made sense to have it positioned here, although it does have to go through the storage building first, so not quite as convenient as it perhaps looks. But I actually wanted to base this off the vanilla blacksmith design. Although I'm not sure if they are still the same in 1.14. I'm not that familiar with the new Minecraft updates. 1.15 is out now and I don't even know what that's about. Bees and honey blocks, something like that, right? I should probably read up on that eventually. But yeah, I wanted to base it off the classic blacksmith building, and I think I've done that somewhat well. I don't know, you guys will have to let me know how I did. Little bit of a confusing clip, and I won't go into too much detail as to not confuse you, but basically I forgot to record this part and only noticed after the video was done. But basically I just wanted to show you the inside of the smithy here and mention that we're not going to be purchasing the smithy token nor giving the blacksmith profession to a nomad, because I don't have enough emeralds to do that, so it's gonna have to wait until next episode. But we have our anvil out here under the roof, so still technically counts as part of the building. So this is where they do all of their hammering, next to the forge. And then on the inside we have a fairly small area with 2 crafting benches, enough for 2 blacksmiths if we do decide to ever get 2, which I'm sure at some point we will, and only 5 furnaces. These are ones in the corner, but I don't think they can use them. So not a lot of furnaces, but I'm sure at some point or another we will end up building another smithy in the village. 2 nomads have decided to show up today. One is Vincent Zatchit, who doesn't particularly have very good intelligence, but then we've got this guy over here. If he'd stop running away from me. We really need some more farmers, don't we? Look how grown these crops are. We have Leighton Armanchi, who's got 19, probably saying his name wrong, 19 intelligence, which is pretty good to start off with. Hasn't got any beginner stats, but that's alright. I'm sure he'll level up. I'm trying to make him stand still so I don't misclick. So there we go, our first miner, who now fills the other space in that building over there. He's got the spare bed, so yeah, he should get to mining now. He's probably just going to go gather some torches. Nope, he's already got some. So yeah, actually maybe we should follow him for a little bit, see what he does. Okay, here he comes through the door. That's good. I was a bit worried that he wasn't going to use this and just try and find another way around, but he seems to be a smart miner, so good job there. And which one's he going to pick? Awesome. So he's going to go off in these 2 directions. Obviously, we don't have a druid at the moment, so yeah, he's probably going to get to a certain point and then just kind of stop doing his job, which then I guess I can just move the mine shafts over to these spare ones. But yeah, for a little while, this should be good. He hasn't got a particularly good pickaxe at the moment. Oh, what is this? Oh, he's opened up a cave. He should go through to the other side, I think. Hopefully, at least. I'm kind of curious what he does. Oh, never mind. There's a block there. We're going to be stood here for ages if I carry on. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to call the episode here. And I've just realized it looks like the crops are my hair on top of my house. That's not what I realized. What I actually realized was this is probably the last TekTopia video before Christmas, so if you do in fact celebrate it, I hope you have a really nice time, and if you don't, well, I hope you still are lucky enough to have some time off work or school perhaps, and yeah, whatever you're doing, I hope you're happy and enjoying yourself and have a good time. The videos will return as usual next week, Saturday, usual time. I'll make sure I get it done ahead of schedule so I can also relax and spend some time with my family. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode, guys. I appreciate all of you so very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.